Hi guys, how you doing? I am sorry it's very late, but the bandwidth has been absolutely hopeless. Right, it's mid-September 2019. We're actually there. It's the 14th today, and it's actually full moon in Pisces as well. So I hope you're having a great day. If you're watching this today, which depends if it uploads today or not, because you never know. Anyway, we're so close to it. I'm going to do one tarot card each for all the star signs, starting with Virgo through to Pisces, and then we can either get on to late September or whatever I'm going to do next, which is going to have an awful lot to do with having a go at the funeral industry. If you're over 55, YouTube shows you adverts telling you that you're going to die soon and you better pay for your funeral. I think that's disgusting. And I don't want an iPhone 11 either. But there we go, a bit of politics there. Card for Virgo, and here it is. It's the Ace of Wands, Virgo. No, it's not. It's the Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness. I get this one mixed up with the Ace of Wands so often because the meanings seem very close to each other to me. And that's how it's panned out in the readings I've done over, I don't know, about the last 30 odd years or so. Ace of Swords. So it's an ace, you know, it's high energy. It's very powerful. Almost like getting a major arcana card. So very close to your heart, Virgo. The swords really are about kind of, you know, stopping and thinking and making decisions and getting things done. And the ace is more about getting things done than it is about stopping and thinking. There is healing all around it. There is a massive crown on that sword. So great things are to be had, Virgo. But you've got to reach out and take it. And that is going to mean being decisive, basically. Okay, because if you don't make those decisions, the consequences of those decisions do not follow, and life becomes very dull if you never make any decisions. So do think about that. Okay, that is Cancer of Virgo. Libra, here we go, Libra, and we have got Knight of Pentacles for you, and the Knight of Pentacles is at a standstill, but there is lots and lots of energy around here. We've got Earth, Wind, Fire and Water working together under the auspices, under the guidance and direction, if you will, of the divine, whether you see that as God, whether you see that as your higher self, your job, whatever makes you tick, quite honestly, because that is where the higher self is at. That is what the higher chakras are all about, and that is what this card is all about in so many ways, because it's one of the almost a trump card, isn't it? Really? No, it's not. What am I saying? I can't remember, but you know, it's like it's not one of the numbers. It's, you know, almost royal, but not quite. He's a knight. He's not actually going anywhere at the moment. That horse is standing still, so you've got to put some motivating force in, Libra. Okay, I know you guys sort of enjoy balance, but what happens sometimes, you have to push forward, and it does throw things off balance, I'm afraid. But once you get into the new situation, you can bring balance into being again. The Knight of Pentacles is very good at balance because he actually unites all the different elemental energies there. Okay, he's also out on a limb a bit, isn't he? He's quite a long way from anywhere, just kind of out in the countryside there. But there are beautiful trees in the background and a beautiful golden sky. So all is good. And if you're out on a limb, Libra, that's the thing to do. Actually, you know, very similar to Virgo, actually make a decision and be willing to get something going, because the Knight of Pentacles is going nowhere at the moment in this card, but he can take you just about anywhere your heart desires to go. That's for you, Libra. Let's have a shuffle and look into the sign of Scorpio. See what we've got for Scorpio for mid-September 2019, which is already upon us. Scorpio, 8 of Wands. Great. This really is about getting things done. And, you know, there's not much you can do to stop the flow of prosperity, to stop the flow of whatever's going on, because it will be leading you towards some kind of prosperity, some kind of abundance when we get the 8 of Wands. They are really magical progress. There isn't too much to worry about. There isn't too much stop and think at this point, actually. It's always worth thinking, but I wouldn't stop to think right now. Okay, Scorpio, because that is extremely powerful. And all over the wands on this card, which is from the Radiant Rider-Waite deck, by the way, are leaves growing out of the wands, showing that, you know, even as this progress is happening, even as you're working towards your goal, other things are coming into flower as well. So be aware of what's around you. Okay, Scorpio, that does matter, because whatever's going on, wherever we're headed, the world around us is still happening and can still be very fruitful, even if it's not the main kind of thing that we want to work on. Okay, so Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Let's have a card for the sign of Sagittarius, please. Da, 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 da. And we have, ooh, I'm a Sagittarius, right? So I wasn't really keen to see that one. But I don't know why we fear these things more than we need to. We really do. It's the Tower of Destruction. It's major arcana. It's close to your heart, Saggy, and it's close to mine as well. It's a big destructive image, this, isn't it? But if you look closely at the characters falling from the tower, they don't look too bothered. They've got to stretch their arms out so they don't land too hard, but they're not too concerned about anything. Because as that place is blown up, there'll be another place for them to be in. Simple as that. A bolt of lightning comes from the blue. It's a spiritual thing. It's number 16 as well, by the way, for you numerology peeps. It's number 16, and we've got an absolute bolt of lightning hitting that, blowing it apart at the top, but it's still rock solid at the bottom. This isn't going to shake your foundations too much, Sagittarius. Okay, it's all about change, you know. Change comes, change goes. Somehow we have to respond to it. Somehow we have to keep going. So, Capricorn, what have we got for you this week? We have got the High Priestess inverted, number 2, inverted. So in terms of numerology, we're kind of really not far from having begun the journey here. But you don't have to be doing a thing for too long before the first teething troubles start to come up, the first problems start to make themselves known. That's an absolute fact. If we turn her the right way up a minute, which is what these readings are all about, by the way, we can see just behind the curtain there, just on either side of between the curtain and the pillars, we can see the coastline of a far-off land. We don't know what's going to happen when we get to that land, but we are about to make the journey to it. To really make that journey, of course, we have to get past the priestess, but she's not a troll, or at least I hope she isn't. She is sitting between the two Kabbalistic pillars of Bina and Chokmah there, which are the masculine and feminine kind of pillars of the Tree of Life. And so she is actually really leading you to towards your ultimate goal, your ultimate spiritual goals, and your ultimate spiritual success, actually, to get yourself all the way to Darth, where you can be very, very close to Metatron indeed. So there's angelic influences there, Capricorn. Big angelic influences there, much going on, much happening, but actually it comes to a stop because we have to get past the High Priestess. Look at these horns though, these are like the horns of a dilemma. It also looks like a crescent moon, but I'm doing this on full moon. So basically put those dilemmas and things to the back of your mind, because that is what is making the High Priestess come out upside down, Capricorn. But it's number 2, you know, it's the beginning of a journey. It's a very positive journey. Just because we don't know what's on the other side doesn't make it dangerous. It really doesn't. So we come to Aquarius now. Let's have a card for Aquarius. Oh, no, I've dropped it. So that must be the one. What have we got here? And it's the Knight of Wands, another knight. And the Knight of Wands, the knight of getting things done. And look, he is really dashing there, really cutting a dash on his charger, because he has actually got the wand there that he's holding aloft. He actually only needs one wand to make it work. That's how powerful this character is. You will need to get him on your side. That's the way it is with knights, to be quite honest. But look at that charger dashing away there. That is getting things done, it really is. So Aquarius, that is looking great. I can imagine there would have been a fair bit of emotion around this. I'm just drawn at the very blue colour in the sky. But it's that emotion, it's that little bit of suffering in life that really allows the angels and the healing energies to pick up on what we're going through and to help us to manifest a better situation. It is actually the colour of celestite, and it is, you know, it's a bit like, you know, the denim, right? It's not as popular as it used to be. Denim, like denim trousers and jackets that people wear. That colour was so successful because it's either indigo or it's tiny little white dots that you can barely notice because of the indigo colour, and it's those little white dots that you can hardly see that make denim as popular as it is, that make it look the way it is. And it's the little spots of kind of dilemmas and you know, unpleasantnesses that we've been through, little kind of sufferings, big sufferings really, and the aftermath that they leave behind that draws in the healing energy. Okay, so if it's not feeling good, Aquarius, you're on your way to it feeling a lot better. We've got the Knight of Wands there on his charger, ready to make it happen. No messing about. So this brings us, friends, to the sign of Pisces, which will be the last one for this week. And we'll have a couple of angel cards as well, I think, just for general kind of good luck as we go through the thing. Okay, so Pisces, what have we got? We have got We've got the Judgment card, number 20, but I'm actually going to, just a voice in my head said, pull another one as well for Pisces, so I'm going to. Number 20, very round, very much to do with completion, and although this says judgment, and it looks like the final judgment in the way the Christian Bible decides it, it's more about justice, you know, things that got these kind of dead characters coming back to life. They're like plans, projects, things that got shelved, things that just weren't going to work with the world as it was the last time you tried to do it. No problem here, Pisces, going back over things a little bit, maybe resurrecting an old project that you've let go of, but basically divine justice is very close to this card. There's an angel blowing the trumpet there. We cannot be messing with angels. Also a fine English flag there. It's not really, but I like to think it is. Okay, so there we go, Pisces. Okay, it is about resurrecting old projects. It is about resurrecting kind of the good parts of yourself that you may have been forced to leave behind as you go through life, because it is a contrived old life, is it not? Okay. I'm now going to do 3 oracle cards for anyone who is drawn to them, okay? This does not really apply to your sign. It's kind of multi-sign, multi-faith kind of thing here. And what have we? Okay, first card out, Lord Ganesha, and that really does look like the theme of this week's reading. They're all saying yes in one way or another. Even the Tower of Destruction for Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. The Tower of Destruction for Sagittarius, which I should remember because I'm a Saggy, is actually saying yes in its way, because what is broken down there and what is removed actually paves the way for new things to come in. So infinite abundance here with Lord Ganesh. He's always saying yes, or she. In some aspects of the early Hindu versions of this, Lord Ganesh is a female deity. Why not? And it says obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. Right, so not only is there progress, there is spiritual progress. Next card, Sanat Kumara, light activation. Have a quick look at him there and then I'll attempt to read what it says. But light activation, it's all yes, it's all going forward, it's all good, fast progress by the look of it. It says, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So there you go. And this is for everyone, not any particular star sign. And it's worth thinking about, because the light that Sanat Kumara shows us here is a light that we all have at least a little spark of somewhere in the heart of ourselves. It's the sort of thing that makes you put a painty jumper on and not care about it, because you know basically you're trying to do the right thing, and that's all that really matters. Okay, see the light in yourself, see the truth in yourself. The internet, particularly on YouTube, a lot, I'm afraid, these days, is trying to kind of tell you, you're not good enough, you're not good. Buy the iPhone 11, you're not good enough, you need an iPhone 11, and you need the Pro, you need to get really broke, you need to get in trouble with money to get an iPhone, or you're not good enough. Absolute rubbish. The true spark of light is in here. I'm pointing down here to my stomach, and it's up here, and it's frankly in the whole body, and it's frankly all around us, okay? So all you've got to do is decide you want to activate it, and it will activate, guys. It's that simple. So it is. That's my affirmation, and so it is. Okay. And finally, Horus, Cosmic Gateway, and this is where it's all heading. This is great stuff. This makes this a real spiritual reading in every sense of the word. Horus is saying, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Well, they're bound to be. They're sure to be. Because if you're watching this, for whatever reason, part of you somehow, some way is on the spiritual path. You might be aware of it, you might not be aware of it, but every human being, every animal, every creature, every speck of dust has some kind of spark of light within it that we've just been looking at. And if you activate that, guys, just be aware that, you know, we are pure light, really, inside these worldly bodies. The cosmic gateway will be open to you, and these miracles will happen. Look up the story of Horus. It is really, really magical stuff from ancient Egypt. Also, don't be afraid to write stuff down if you need to. It doesn't say that on the card, it just popped into my head. It's an older meaning of Horus from another deck that I used to read. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Now, YouTube, right, gives me a lot of trouble because I can upload stuff to Facebook just lately, but YouTube just takes a lot longer even than it used to, and it used to take a long time. it's eating up loads and loads of my week. So I'm still going to be making videos, right? But rather than trying to do 12 videos, one for each star sign every week, I've got to come up with something different. It's driving me nuts. And if you're really following me, it's probably driving you nuts by now as well. So we'll take a different approach to it. I've said that a few times and then gone back to the tarot. But no, there will be tarot involved. There will be oracle involved. There will be all kinds of great things involved. There will probably still be paint on my jumper. I'm wearing this jumper in my most viewed video about Doreen Virtue. So hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, and then have a look through all the videos on my channel. There's all kinds of stuff there, not just spiritual topics, but spiritual topics for me are where it's at. I hope love, light, laughter and happiness are for you as we go through the next week ahead. Guys, I'll try and do something to block the YouTube ads. I'm really kind of quite sure that they're very cynical. Some kind of subliminal seduction going on. The one they're pushing at me at the moment is every time I open the YouTube app, there's a picture of a hearse and an undertaker, basically a funeral, and sad people standing around this big black car with a coffin in the back. And it's because I'm over 55. The only thing they think they can really sell to me is my own death, which is inevitable and which is coming one day. And that's what I'm going to pay for the funeral, guys, when I need it. It's very, very cynical, you know. It's for funeral plans. You pay in advance and it covers everything, so they say. No doubt when the time comes, your loved ones would have to pull out another kind of £4,000 or £5,000 to cover eventualities. And they're not going to want to get into a court case taking these funeral planning pigs to court. Because they're just going to want to forget the whole thing. That is the psychology behind the funeral adverts. Part 2 of that attack just appeared the other week, and it's a man who actually looks a bit younger than me. I'd say he's in his late 40s, so they're using him to kind of make people of my age think we're kind of living on borrowed time already, which we're not. And he is saying, so when the time does come, what's going to happen? And he's emphasising that the time does come. He's constantly trying to drum it into you, like they all are. All YouTube can really sell you is death, because YouTube is death. Follow me, Twig Brother, on Facebook. The internet isn't much better than YouTube, but at least on Facebook there's a friendship aspect to it. Meanwhile, I will be back on YouTube, and I'm going to keep going until they ban me, which they probably will in the end, because I'm kind of anti-YouTube these days. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic mid-September, which is already upon us. I'll be back very soon with more readings. Peace.